it's farcical, really. I think we should bring in voting, legalised voting, where you have to vote if you're over 18, but on the voting form, you should be allowed to choose none of the above.
No, I mean you can spoil your ballot. That is an option.
No, not to spoil it, but to choose
you want to say
none of the above.
None of the above. Okay, Justin, thank you very much. Nick Vinehill, very patient, calling from Wrexham. Hi, Nick. Just before you do make your point, let me just read some of the things that are coming through.
B202, Abbey Street.
Frankly, Boris Johnson is unfit for public office and deserves to be in prison, says this one. Jeff says Boris Johnson has spent the last 30 years lying, being found out and then having to deal with or run away from the consequences. Richard says he claims this was a witch hunt. Well, they have found witches flying out of his clothes in all directions. I'm not sure about that. Boris seems to live in a separate universe. Another one here. I'm so glad Boris Johnson's leaving. His resignation letter demonstrates a lack of insight, no humility or apology. It demonstrates his emotional immaturity and narcissism. Let's go to you, Nick. What did you want to say?
Yeah, for what it's worth, from King's Lynn actually. Your first two callers, both pro-Brexit callers,
in a quarter of a mile,
from different angles.
Turn right on a 200
says,
Jamaica Road.
Why you'd like Ireland to come out of the EU and join Great Britain? Why on earth would Ireland want to come out of the EU when it's got one of the highest levels of economic growth in the G7 countries? And your caller who said he was ex-Labour, but Boris Johnson converted him to the Tories.
Yeah, he was one of the red wallers, as they are
because he got
shorthanded.
us all, because apparently, according to him, he's got us Brexit through Parliament. What's the big virtue in that when we're seeing the result of Brexit now and the calamity that it is causing on the economic front? The thing is, as far as Johnson's concerned, I never really seriously regarded him as a politician, as a parliamentary politician. He's always been a journalist, writing for the Times, editor of the Spectator and things. And I think he's merely used Parliament.
Use the right lane to turn right on a
just to get what
200
his
Jamaica
ultimate
Road.
ambition was, and that is to become Prime Minister. And now all this nonsense about him being witch hunted and things, and he thinks he's been hard done by, it's all a big distraction, as everything has been a big distraction in British politics over the past 2 or 3 years, over Partygate and everything, away from the fact that Tory economic policy is on the rocks. There's nowhere to go. And that's all.
I'm guessing you're not a Conservative voter, but would you concede that among Conservative voters, he has been very popular?
It depends what angle they look at things. Yeah, but you see, popularity is nothing. Personality politics is completely different from empirical policies, from politics and the actual what they mean and everything. Yes, it's popular.
Okay.
That doesn't mean a thing, really, does it?
All right, Nick, thank you very much. Another email from Adrian. Boris Johnson did not get us through COVID. He was only the mouthpiece for the experts who made the vitally important decisions.
Roundabout, take the second exit on
Whatever they say
A101,
about Boris, he has more charisma than the lot of them, and I don't blame him for making a hasty retreat. This one here, goodbye to a man who gave a damehood to a bully and a knighthood to Rees-Mogg, who lied to the Queen. Paul says, I find the ongoing focus on Partygate insignificant. It's a misappropriation of public resources. It is a diversion from serious issues. Let's go to Michaela, who's calling us. Michaela Best from London. Hi, Michaela.
Hi, Anita. Good afternoon.
Welcome to the programme.
Thank you. I wanted to suggest 2 things regarding our long-needed reform of the House of Lords. And firstly, that it should consist, at least in part, of a number of UK citizens chosen randomly and then organised to achieve, representation across age, gender, and where we live in the UK. So it would look like a little mini UK, and that these citizens would have a specific term in office, and they would have training and remuneration for their time in office. But perhaps even before that, the House of the Lords should be decided by a UK Citizens' Assembly. When I was listening to Ed Morgan yesterday on Any Questions, she told us that the Lord's reform wouldn't be easy, and she called it quite a battle. And the Citizens' Assembly